So this is part 2 of the Congressional testimony by General Odom, which has received absolutely no attention in our mainstream media. So I will continue with the testimony verbatim, because as I said earlier in my first part video, many people simply do not have the time to watch C-SPAN and the Congressional testimonies on a daily basis, because most of us are actually working during the daytime, and when we come home to watch it, these sorts of testimonies tend to be publicized very late at night when most people are asleep. So this is part 2 of General Odom's testimony to the Foreign Relations Committee this week. Let me emphasize that our new Sunni friends insist on being paid for their loyalty. I have heard, for example, a rough estimate that the cost in one area of about 100 square kilometers is $250,000 per day. And periodically they threaten to defect unless the fees are paid. You might want to find out the total cost for these deals forecasted for the next several years, because they are not small, as they do not promise an end in sight. Remember, we do not own these people. We merely rent them. And they can break the lease agreement at any time. At the same time, this deal protects them to some degree from the government's troops and police, hardly a sign of political reconciliation. Now, let us consider the implications for the proliferation deals with the Sunni strongmen. They are far from unified amongst themselves. Some remain with Al-Qaeda. Many who break and join our forces are beholden to no one. Thus, the decline in violence reflects a dispersion of power to dozens of local strongmen who distrust the government and occasionally fight amongst themselves. Thus, the basic military situation is far worse because of the proliferation of armed groups under local military chiefs who follow a proliferation number of political bosses. This can hardly be called greater military stability, much less progress towards political reconciliation, and to call it fragility that needs more time to become success is to ignore its implications. At the same time, Prime Minister Maliki's military actions in Basra and Baghdad indicate even wider political and military fragmentation. What we are witnessing is more accurately described as the road to the balkanization of Iraq. That is, political fragmentation. We're being asked by the president to believe that this shift of so much power and finance to so many local chieftains is the road to political centralization. He describes the process as building the state from the bottom up. I challenge you to press the administration's witnesses this week to explain this absurdity. Ask them to name a single historical case where power has been aggregated successfully from local strongmen to a central government except through bloody violence, leading to a single winner, most often a dictator. That is the history of feudal Europe's transformation to the age of absolute monarchy. It is the story of the American colonization of the West and our own Civil War. It took England 800 years to subdue clan rule on what is now the English-Scottish border. And it is the source of violence in Bosnia and Kosovo. Again, this is General Odom's testimony this week to the Foreign Relations Committee in Congress. It's a very long testimony, so it will require 3 parts. Hopefully you will listen to it as I will read the 3rd and final part of this testimony. Thanks.